Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome to Coming Soon. This week we're going to be talking about yet another Japanese game making its way to North America, Tales of Zestiria. I think is how you say it. If you guys haven't watched one of my other Coming Soon episodes before, then basically my goal here is to help you see one way or another if this is a game you're interested in, by giving you an overview of the story, gameplay, multiplayer, extras, and systems, before winding down with some of my predictions about the game, what the community is saying about the game, and then wrap it up with my overall thoughts. Also, keep in mind that the visuals that you're seeing for this is the PS3 version of the game, and keep in mind that the game is already out in Japan. The story begins with childhood friends Sori and Mikleo exploring ruins they believe to hold information about the Shepherd of Legend, a person said to have the ability to vanquish evil beings known as Hellions. Sori is a human, while Mikleo is a being known as a Seraphim, which is a supernatural humanoid who can only interact with humans with sufficient spiritual energy, such as Sori. While the two boys explore the ruins, they come across an unconscious female knight who later reveals herself to be Alicia Dipada, a princess of the Highland Kingdom. After Sori gets better acquainted with her, he finds out that she, unlike him, does not possess the ability to see the Seraphim. Sori then brings Alicia back to the village to rest up and prepare for the return journey to the Highland Kingdom. Alicia tells Sori of the outside world and how it's in a state of quote-unquote calamity. And as she leaves the village, she tells Sori of the sacred blade ceremony being held at Lady Lake, where the quote-unquote trial of the blade will take place in search of a new shepherd. She tells Sori that she believes he could be that shepherd and then departs on her way back to the kingdom. Once the princess has departed, the village realizes that a Hellion is very near the village and that they need to go in search of the beast. Sori and Mikleo find the beast, who turns out to be a human/Hellion hybrid, and they scare him away as he tells them that they weren't the quote-unquote main course anyways. Thinking back on the Hellion's words, Sori realizes that the beast was probably after Alicia, and that night he sets out to leave the village and track down the Hellion hybrid. From here, the story follows Sori as he tries to become the new shepherd and gain the power to vanquish the Hellion and bring about a new quote-unquote legendary time wherein humanity and the Seraphim can live in harmony. The story also details two main powers, the Kingdom of Highland and the Empire of Lowlands, fighting for supremacy over the continent of Greenwood. This conflict is important because it, along with the negative emotions of humanity at the time, are what is causing the Hellion's creatures to be created. Tales of Zestiria is an open-world RPG with many areas to explore and characters to conversate with. During your exploration of open areas, and if you have the specified Seraph character, you'll be able to execute special commands such as slicing through minor obstacles, smashing large obstacles, temporarily shielding yourself from enemy view, igniting special lights in dungeons, or teleporting to far locations. While exploring, you can also have a changeable second character which accompanies you, offering conversations as well as unique support talents such as treasure chest locating or monitoring character health. These abilities can be leveled up along with their respective characters. As with previous titles in the Tales of series, Tales of Zestiria will employ their action-based linear motion battle system, or LMBS for short, which this time is called the Fusionic Chain LMBS. Unlike in previous entries, however, battles will take place in the environments where the battle was encountered. This means that battles can be affected by the topography of the land, such as ponds, rocks, etc. Like in previous Tales of games, the LMBS will incorporate special skills known as arts. There are two types of arts, with human characters specializing in close quarters or melee-based arts, and Seraph characters specializing in mid to long-range magical arts. Alongside these arts, characters will be able to cast spells for actions such as healing or attacking enemies, as well as perform unique mystic arts which can deal high damage. There are three systems in the game will be governed by a rock, paper, scissors style system, in which arts are greater than spells, spells are greater than mystic arts, and mystic arts are greater than arts. I think that's how it goes. When they were discussing that, it was in Japanese, and it was like some T word, some O word, and then spells was a regular word, but I think that's how it goes. When in battle, character stats will be displayed in special windows on the bottom of the battle screen showing current health, blast gauge, an energy bar linked to special abilities, and spirit chain gauge, a bar beneath the health which shows the ability for linked characters to perform special attacks. The spirit chain gauge allows for a maximum of 4 linked attacks, and any remaining points in that gauge can be used for later linked attacks. The order of activation for the linked attacks cannot be changed. In addition, the characters Sori and Rose can perform the ability called Aromatization, which fuses either of them to a chosen Seraph partner to produce a powerful hybrid which can perform magical attacks linked to what element that Seraph represents. While in this form, the human character's stats will be boosted and they'll gain special abilities unique to that fusion, such as a large sword and fire-based magic with Lila, water arrows and a bow with Mikleo, stone fists and summoning stone pillars with Edna, and blade-like wings and the summoning of whirlwinds with Dizil or Zavid. There can be a maximum of 4 party members in battle at any given time with 1 human linked to 1 Seraph. There are a total of 8 possible party members that I saw, and I'll talk about their equipment now, but hold off on how you come by them to avoid any spoilers in that department. Sori. The character you'll be playing as is Sori. Sori fights with a one-handed sword in battle and has the ability of Aromatization. Mikleo. Mikleo is a water seraph who uses the divine water arts as well as a long staff in battle. Alicia Depada. Alicia is a human who fights with a long spear in battle. Rose is a human who fights with 2 daggers and, like Sori, possesses the ability of Aromatization. Lila is a fire seraph who uses the divine fire arts as well as a special type of paper in battle. Edna is an earth seraph who uses the divine earth arts as well as an umbrella in battle. Dizil is a wind seraph who uses the divine wind arts as well as a pendulum in battle. Zavid is a man from the seraph who fights with a whip in battle. For multiplayer, there is confirmed to be a 4-player local co-op in the game. However, I couldn't find much to any gameplay on how it works. It appears that all the characters will share the same battle screen and there won't be any split screen involved. For extras, I don't really have anything for this game. For systems, as stated, this game is already out in Japan. It came out on January 22nd, 2015 for the PS3 there. But now that it's making its way to North America and Europe, it will be available on the PS3, the PS4, and Microsoft Windows. It'll start being available in Europe on October the 16th and in North America on October the 20th. For predictions, I predict this game is already out, so I can't really make any predictions. As for what the community is saying, they seem to be all for this game. There are some reviews out through some Japanese reviewers such as Famitsu, who gave the game a 36 out of 40, and Dengeki PlayStation, who gave it a 91 out of 100, which both seem like very good scores. There is, however, some controversy with the game, seeing as promotional material for Alicia seemed to place her as a much bigger character in the game than she actually was, and some people weren't too happy about that. So to wrap this up with my final thoughts on the game, I actually think the game looks really good. Combat seems really in-depth, and with my gameplay section, I barely even feel like I scratched the surface on just how much there is to it. However, what really has me interested in this game is the story. I was watching one of the gameplays on YouTube, and the game was in Japanese, but it had English subtitles, and I just found the story really interesting. Even though I have no prior history with the game, the world seems to have so much lore, which really isn't that surprising considering this is the 15th game in the series, but I just really thought the story was well told, and I stopped on around part 5 to avoid spoilers for myself because I got that interested in what was going on, and I decided I wanted to pick this one up. So if you're not familiar with the series, or maybe you're just not that big into JRPGs or whatever, I suggest you check out some gameplay on YouTube and maybe see if the story sounds interesting to you as well. I think the last JRPG I really got into, and I don't mean played or beat or whatever, I mean really got into to the point where I didn't want to stop playing and I just wanted to beat it, was Grandia 2, all the way back on the Dreamcast. And for whatever reason, this game has piqued my interest, and I just want to see where that interest takes me, really. Alright, so that is pretty much all I have to say on this game, guys. Hopefully this is the last game I'll go over this year that's already been released in another area of the world, because that's 3 in a row that I've done like that, but I guess we'll see what happens. The next game I plan on doing in coming soon episode 4 is Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which will come out September 23rd, so just a few days from now. And then coming at the end of this month and the beginning of next month, it's going to be like an episode watershed, because there's so many games coming out over the course of it's like a 2-week gap, and there's like 5 or 6 games that I'm doing an episode for. But anyways, guys, I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please don't forget to subscribe for more, and I hope to see you in the next video.